can't stand how stupid people are, man. It's frustrating, dude. I can't even make fucking videos because people are... It's not that I think that everybody's dumb and can't understand what I'm saying, though I do feel that as part of it. It's that even a video without any editing, even just straightforward talking about a topic, to me it's so fucking exhausting, because the second that some of this shit happens, I could see it so clearly that it's mind-numbing. All right, like this EBT. What was it? Hold on, let me just think. $600 million for prostitutes, male prostitutes in Haiti, to take dance classes and cooking lessons, right? This was part of the budget that the Democrats wanted to pass, with another 15 or 20 things that were this level of ridiculous. Okay? Now, do I think that they're actually going to put $600 million in a kitty in Haiti, where somebody's going to be down there going, oh, hey, come on here and register. You're a fucking gay male prostitute or whatever, and we will sign you up for one of 20 approved cooking classes or dance classes. Do I think that they're actually doing that? I do not. Just like I don't think that they're doing any of this with any of this fucking money. But that is the Democrats' way to skim money off the top, right? So Republicans have their own way. They've got their own bullshit that they do to skim money off the fucking top. These cocksuckers in this government are so busy figuring out the best way to rob us without us figuring out what it is, right? That they cause these government shutdowns. Government shutdowns have been around since the early 1800s. I had to look at this. Anytime the budget doesn't pass, the government can shut down. Although throughout history, up until very recently, the shutdowns never lasted more than, say, a couple of days. At the most, a couple of days. And I think it was Trump's first presidency that there was a shutdown, that the shutdown lasted like a month. And the problem with these shutdowns is that some of these government agencies are required to still go to work. The people are still required to work. They just don't get paid until the government opens back up. So they still have a job. They still get paid their wage. They just don't get paid until the government opens back up. Now, it is unfair maybe to ask them to continue to work when they're not getting their fucking checks, but this is how it is. There are also certain government agencies that are exempt from this, like the FBI and, I'm sure all different parts of the intelligence community, right? They still get their money. They still work. Now, the military doesn't. The military has to wait until the government opens back up to get paid, but the intelligence community doesn't. And there are so many other agencies, I'm not going to go through every one. The point is that the ones that just completely stop working are generally not ones that normal people get to see. And the last time during Trump's presidency, when the government shut down for its record longest, which at that time was a little over a month, I believe, maybe 2 months, something like that. Normally it's a day, a couple of days. I think a week was like the record before this happened. Normally when the government shuts down, people don't notice, but during this last one, the TSA was being threatened, and the parks are the one people noticed. National parks. Oh, the parks aren't open. Oh, there's all this garbage piling up in all the parks. Where are all the people doing all this? Well, all those fucking people are federal employees, and they're not there to open the parks, to man the gates and let people in, and they're not there to clean the garbage and do all that other shit. So people started to notice. Now, the fucking government, the power group, does not like this, of course. They don't want people to notice, because when they want to steal your money, they don't want you to know that they're stealing your fucking money. So, the most recent thing is this threat to EBT. First of all, so many low IQ videos, right? You ain't gonna give us EBT, we gonna be in the parking lot, take your groceries. Yeah, right. Yeah, right you will. That's a completely different crime than walking out of the store without paying for something. And there's a completely different rule of defense for somebody that would do something like that to you than there would be for a security guard in a store. So, shut the fuck up. First of all. Even better are the ones that, we gonna go in your home. We're gonna go grocery shopping. That chick with all the tattoos on her face. We're gonna come up, what you gonna do when we come up in your house? You're gonna come up in my house? I don't know what state you're in, hon, but that ain't gonna work here. I digress. These people don't even mean what they say. I'll get back to that in a second. So, first thing that's stupid, I saw a lady last week spending $600 of EBT in one crack. And I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of stuff for one person. What are you doing? Well, once the first rolls around, you lose everything that you got on your balance. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that's how EBT works, because my understanding of EBT is that it is debit. In fact, I'm sure it's debit. I'm also sure that every state uses the same first 8 digits to identify each card, and the second 8 digits are unique. I'm also aware that they don't have a chip, they don't have a CVV, they don't have any other kind of authentication, that they're only held secure by the PIN number and the fact that each card has 8 different digits. Which you might think that's kind of strange. Well, it's not strange if you know who runs the security for EBT. But it takes a while to get through the search to figure out who it is. Do you want me to cut to... There are a ton of companies, let's say 20, that claim that they handle security for EBT cards. Okay, every state has a different EBT, has a different face on the EBT card, but they all have 16 digits. Every state has the first same 8 digits for all of their EBT cards. Every state does not have a secondary authentication factor. Which, when you think about everything else, even fucking emails, everything has all the secondary and tertiary security, but not EBT, right? And it's really just a big debit system. Now, it can generally only be used for food, but it's still a debit system. Some people somewhere apparently can use some of theirs for money, but I don't know anything about that. I've just heard about it. Still, it is debit for food, which means that if you have an EBT card in 2010, and you no longer qualify for EBT in 2011, but you are carrying a balance of $500 for your EBT card, and it's 2025, if you still have the card and still know the PIN, you can still use that $500. So it's pretty much debit. There's absolutely nothing that anybody has ever said about going backwards and taking away any money from existing funds. That's asinine. Number one. Number two. These people all act like November 31st is some huge jumping off date. It's not. Nobody gets their, and it's not, everybody doesn't get their EBT filled on the same day. It goes according to your social security number and the last digit of your social security number. It is spread out over the first 15 days of the month, and like 3 or 4 of those days are exempt from fill. It never happens on the 1st, and then it's like the 4th and the 13th, and there's another day or two. So you fill on one of those other 10 days, and they correspond to 0 through 9 with the last number that your social security number ends on. You fill on the 6th if the last number is a 3, or you fill on the 5th if your last number is a 2, like that. This is how it works. So most people will not even notice whether or not they get their benefits until the middle of the month, at least the first week of the month. So if the shutdown ends in mid-November, even late November, which it very well could. I think it will get to that. If that happens, then most people will only be like, I had to wait like 4 days, but I still got my EBT. So understand also, there is no claim of reduction in benefits. There's no claim of a change of benefits. There is only the claim that the funds to fill your benefits may not be available on the day you normally get your benefits filled. Okay? These motherfuckers on TikTok with all these videos about we're going to rob you, we're going to rob the grocery store, we're going to rob you in the parking lot, we're going to come into your house. This shit is fucking crazy and stupid and nonsense. And I have seen as many or more people making videos about you best not touch our EBT as there are people going, I dare you to come into my house. I have more videos, people going, you better not touch my EBT. We going to steal this shit. Really? You're going to steal, huh? Because the way that they're talking with the, we're going to make some flash mobs. We're going to go into this grocery store on this date, and like 50 of us, 100 of us are going to go in there. There's no way they can stop all of us. Well, they're not going to stop any of you, probably. They're not going to bother. But then later on, when some politician is crying big fucking tears, and I'm sure it'll be a black politician in a black area, why is we in a food desert? This is why. Black people take note. Okay? So we don't want to hear you bitching later. If this happens, this is what keeps fucking happening. These stores keep getting shit stolen. So if that happens, but that, again, side point doesn't really matter. Your funds aren't going anywhere. Your funds will be disbursed once the government opens back up. And the reason that the government is shut down in the first place is that the two sides are fighting about which way to best steal your money. Whether to grift it with weird type of fucking causes that are overseas bullshit that are never going to come to fruition. They're just a way for these people to line their pockets. Or whether it's going to be something else that the Republicans can steal from. Or other people in this country. That's all it is. I'll tell you right now. Cutting off EBT permanently. Let's be more real. Cutting off EBT for 3 months will start a civil war in this country. A full-on shooting in the streets civil war where people are picking sides, trying to whack up what's left of the country. Fires are started, emergency services are suspended, etc. Like full-on civil war would start after 3 months. Is it because people are hungry, though? No, it's not going to be because people are hungry. I already saw Reddit, and I read Reddit because I like to try to get information from multiple sources, even though the majority of Reddit repulses me. And every time I try to comment on it, those people ban my account. I mean, even when I try to be nice, those fucking people ban my account. At the very least, they ignore me. They never respond to me. But I was reading Reddit, and they were already talking about the local food banks, of which in my neighborhood there are 2 that are very close. And the soup kitchens, or whatever they're called nowadays, and missionaries, whatever, they offer free food twice a day, like a breakfast and a dinner. They're already talking about places like that adding in some kind of delivery for people who can't get there. So, and the food banks are stocked, and we're going to make sure that the pantry's open longer hours than normal, and that we can deliver. So, for people who are actually hungry, because they don't have any other type of sustenance, and they're not thieving, conniving cocksuckers, who would sell their benefits so they can go get fucking dope or would trade you. For people who are actually hungry, there are people out there already working for ways to help them float until this opens back up and the funds are disbursed. So don't get that twisted. If that's happening here, I'm certain that's happening in every major city across the country. I don't really have too much more to say about this because I don't want to get into any kind of topical matter where I can't post this on YouTube. I'm making this one for YouTube, not for something else. But sorry, I got interrupted. But just imagine this, man. There is no way that this is going to lead to the worst case scenario that it could lead to. There's no way that this is going to go for 3 months. It won't go for 2 months. My prediction is that it'll go through about mid to late November, right before Thanksgiving. This will be rectified, and all these people that are screaming, either legitimately because they're stupid, saying, I don't know how I'm going to eat without this money, and all the ones that are bitching because they just like gibs, and they want to use this as an excuse because once you loot the grocery store, then you get to loot other stuff, right? All those people are going to realize, oh shit, here's my money, right? So it really wasn't that. That's my prediction about what's going to happen. And I'll just tell you why. Because, dude, Trump don't want to lose power. First of all, he would lose control of this country. Any president would lose control of this country. He would lose control of this country. And all of the other people that are rich in this power group, I don't want to say which group it is, but I think you know what I mean. All the other people who are rich who are in this power group, they don't want this either, man. This isn't good for them. It's only fun to have power and control when you have people to rule over. I mean, there's a select few people that would like to have power, and there's only fucking 10 other people in the world. But for the most part, people who like power like to have a serf class. If you don't have the slaves, what's the point of having the power? And we are all the fucking slaves.